Now, here is a story which we're saying in all seriousness, this is academic, scientific research, right? So when it comes to Christmas and getting your wife a present, you can forget jewellery, chocolates or perfume. We've got an American writer and philosopher who claims that women really want from their husbands is what is termed a hall pass. Ruth, please explain what a hall pass is.
Well, a hall pass is permission from your partner...
Me?
Yes, for me to go elsewhere for my sexual satisfaction and pleasures without any recriminations. And then I come back and go, all right, darling, cup of tea.
Here is Dr. Wednesday Martin, and she says women can struggle being in a long-term relationship more than men, and a couple's bond can be strengthened by an affair like this.
Vanessa Feltz's eyes just went like that. She thinks this is ridiculous and monogamy is the only way to a good relationship. It is fascinating. It's a fascinating question, Dr. Martin. And what I think initially you're saying, everyone assumes it's men that kind of are bored in their relationship and sexually, but from your research, you say actually it's women who are complaining that a sexual relationship with just one partner is dull.
That's right. The research is very interesting and pretty counterintuitive. We've been sold a bill of goods about how women are. We've been told that our libidos are lower than men's, although new research is showing that if you measure it at the right time of the month, it's just as strong, if not stronger.
And the reason that women may not follow through on that is quite simply they're bored. They're bored with the same person.
Yes, women what we've learned is that long-term relationships tend to be harder on female desire than on male desire. We've been told exactly the opposite. But there's some long-term studies that show that male desire sort of ebbs slowly over the course of many years. But female desire plunges within the first 4 years of a relationship.
So after 4 years, they go, I'm bored with him.
1 to 4 years. And we used to think that it was just women going off sex. But now what we know is that women go off sex more quickly with the same partner. Basically, men are better at wanting what they already have. And for women, it's a bit more of a struggle. Now, not everyone will want a hall pass and to step out. But the idea of being consensually non-monogamous is on the table now in ways that it hasn't been before. And surprisingly, a lot of women seem to be interested in it and are open
so would you like that for Christmas, Vanessa?
And you are putting it on the table. It's not just on the table. You are suggesting give your other half, your wife or your girlfriend, a hall pass to have sex with someone else over Christmas.
I'm more suggesting that we have to think about whether monogamy is the best solution for everyone across the board. And with 1 in 5 people in Great Britain saying that they've had an affair, and that's admitting to it. What we know is that at least 20% of the adult population here is struggling with monogamy. That doesn't mean that they're not enjoying a long-term, lifelong partnership and commitment. It's the monogamy part that's hard for them.
This is a catastrophically bad idea. Not only is it bad, I think it's hugely irresponsible and potentially very damaging. If you really are peddling the idea of give your wife the right to have an affair as a Christmas present, my God, you're playing fast and loose with
maybe
all
not
the
necessarily
things.
an affair. I mean, just sex.
Well, just sex is a one-off
I'm not
thing.
talking about an affair or a secret, actually. What we're talking about here is something called consensual non-monogamy, in which you agree with your partner. I love you, I love this relationship, I'm committed to it, but I'm also missing some thrill and adventure. Should we have thrill and adventure together, some way within our marriage, or should we give each other permission to go off and do it? And what we find is that...
both people consent.
It's an atrocious idea. First of all, why are you in a relationship? It's exclusive. It's supposed to be intimate, something precious, something that's treasured between the two of you.
But what if sexually it's boring?
But if it's sexually boring, then rev it up at home. There are plenty of ways to do it. Don't read that book. Read a different book. Watch a video. There are numerous ways. Listen, but hang on a minute. This is important because, A, you'd be playing fast and loose with whoever it is you're having sex with. You can't just treat them as a sex toy. They're a human being. I think it's horrible to do that. And B, what about if it blossoms and blooms into something else? And how do you just come in through the door and make Eamonn a cup of tea and give him a piece of strudel when you've just been in bed with somebody else? Come off it. Come on.
I have to say, Vanessa, over the past couple of years, Ruth and I have done a number of documentaries, one of which was about the 7-year itch. And Dr. Martin, we came across, what are they called, swingers? People open love. Yeah,
polyamorous.
Yeah. And I have to say, each one of these people, these couples, were so confident in their relationship. They were very confident and relaxed within this. And there was no doubt in my mind that they still loved each other, but they were Does that surprise you? They were
that
quite
doesn't surprise me at all. Let's talk about, first of all, Vanessa's very, very strong feelings on this topic. Many people are passionately committed to monogamy and passionately committed to monogamy and a long-term, lifelong partnership being absolutely sutured together. But a lot of people struggle with that. And we know that from the statistic of at least 20% of people admitting they have an affair. Now, should people be forced with this choice where their only options are to stay in a relationship that is satisfying in all ways except sexually, to struggle to find satisfaction there and be unable to do it, or to have an affair, throw it all away, have a divorce and lose everything? Or do we need a more creative third solution that allows people to have a conversation? Vanessa. To your point about swingers, the research is very surprising and goes to Vanessa's very strong feelings. We find that in terms of relationship satisfaction and jealousy, swingers and people in consensually non-monogamous relationships counterintuitively report lower levels of jealousy and higher levels of relationship satisfaction. Monogamists report much higher levels of jealousy and lower levels of sexual and relationship satisfaction.
Honestly,
is it for everyone? It is not for everyone, but it is for some people.
This tremendous urge to fling myself in front of you to stop you peddling this idea, because I do not think that it is possible to play fast and loose with the intricacies of a relationship in this way. And I know, and hang on 1 second, and I do know that in any situation where I have known people to do this kind of thing, there's always one of the partners who is more committed to it than the other. One who thinks, come on, let's switch, and somebody else sobbing at home, and I think that's how it works. So what you find counterintuitively is that when you speak to couples therapists or you talk to people in the polyamory movement or the community or anybody who's consensually non-monogamous, what experts tell you is that they have been surprised to learn that it's usually women who are interested in opening up the relationship and having a creative arrangement.
Again, one of these parties we went to filming at before anything happened, we went in with the view that it was the men had forced the women to be there. That was not the case. It was all women saying, I said to him... It wasn't all women,
but a lot of the women saying it was my idea.
It was all the women I spoke to.
Instead of making this general, let's make it personal.
OK.
We have your husband standing over there filming every word you say as if you're not already on the television, so that's quite amusing. But the question is, would you let him do that? Would he like you to do that? Would you
practice what you preach?
My own personal practices, I never speak about them because I don't want to endorse anything. What's right for Vanessa is right for Vanessa.
Yes.
What's right for you as a couple is right for you as a couple. What's right for some people, and they seem to be successful at it and might help us stay in our relationships longer, is consensual.
I think it's opening the door to utter misery.
Michaela says if a woman secretly wants her man to give her a free pass, then they shouldn't be together because her thoughts are elsewhere. Lisa says, I'd rather have a written voucher saying I'll do the cleaning for the day. Now, that is a gift worth having.
Here's an interesting one. Faye says, my partner offered this to me, but it turns out he was having an affair
already. There you are, that's what I mean.
Yes, sometimes that is the case, but more often it's the case that a woman is sort of asphyxiating in a long-term monogamous relationship, and the solution might not be to step out. Of course, this isn't a one-size-fits-all recommendation for everyone.
That's right. You find out there are a few more sizes, then you're really in trouble. One size doesn't fit all. You look at the other sizes.
And women love variety.
Final question. Do you think, Doctor, do you think in 200 years from now, people will look back and say, in the 21st century, it was weird. People got together and they were expected to stay with the one partner for life?
I think Vanessa will be very reassured to hear that monogamy and the monogamous pair bond is not going anywhere anytime soon. But we're of a particular generation, and a younger generation is interested in polyamory and consensual non-monogamy, and so some of us of our generation are interested in it
for the
as
day.
well.
Are you interested in polyamory? If you're interested in this book, why nearly everything we believe about women and lust and infidelity is untrue. It is by Wednesday Martin, and she was our guest with Vanessa there this morning.